A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It's your boy Mustafa Bey. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I want to share a story out of my history briefly, and it's a higher purpose for me sharing the story. But prior to me moving to Inglewood, I grew up off Gramercy, and I was Crip influenced. You know what I'm saying? So I moved to Inglewood after getting kicked out of Mount Vernon in 1980, 81. And so I lived in Inglewood from 81 to 82. And I used to hang out with some brothers on 65th Street. Shout out my 65th Street crew. Shout out my man Tyke, Zombie, Red Eye, my man Roger Zeladon, Pretty Boy Zell. Shout out my man Wimp, Dog, my man Foots, Dog and Winbush, rest in peace. My man Chris Cowboy, and anybody else from around the way who might remember me. Anyway, so when I go to Texas for a year, I come back, and I had a girlfriend. I remember I had met a girlfriend through my uncle, who I call my nephew because he's some years younger than me. He's my mom's youngest brother. So anyway, I meet this girl, and she lived on 6th Avenue and 54th Street, named Angie. Shout out Angie if you're out there. And when I used to go over there and visit her, some local cats around the way, that I met that called themselves the FAH, or the Fifth Avenue Hustlers. And so because of the area, I pretty much, knew that these brothers was, blood influenced, although they was hustlers at the time, and they wasn't full-fledged gang members. They wasn't full-fledged gang banging. They was still claiming hustler. You know what I'm saying? And while we talking about the 50s, shout out my man, Lil Nutty, solid brother. I was in placement with him. You know what I'm saying? Got a lot of love for Nutty, how he carry himself, conduct himself, even to the day. So anyway, carrying on with the story, I met these brothers when I used to go over there and frequent that area. And, later on, some months down the line, I ended up becoming a Crip. You know what I'm saying? I get put on Gear Gang Crip in that year, 1983. And so I still go over there. And one particular day, I went over there, and I happened to be dressed similar. You know what I'm saying? I think I had some blue khakis, and, I might have had a Georgetown starter jacket on or something like that, right? And got off the bus on Crenshaw 54th, walked down, hit 6th Avenue, make a left, boom. And when I'm coming down 6th Ave, my girl lived right off the corner, right? It's an alley, and she was the first house. But when I hit the corner, I seen my nephew and another dude I knew that was claiming Harlem on the block. So I start heading down that way. I look to my right, and coming down the alley is a bunch of dudes, about 10, 12 cats, like flaming up, you know what I'm saying, red, right? And they were like, "What's up, blood?" Whoa, whoa, whoa. And they start chasing me. And I didn't know who they was, you know what I'm saying, from the distance. And I looked, and I'm like, "Are they coming for me?" Because I've been coming over here for a while, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never had this problem, right? Look, they coming for me. So I dart, bam, they chasing me. I run down the street to my boy's house, but I didn't want to run in his house. So I run on the side of his house into the backyard, and I try and hop the fence. The fence about like 8 feet tall. I try and jump over the fence. Dudes come behind me, pull me down, boom. Got me in a circle, we squab, I break out the circle, run around the side of the house, and partner of them had the door open. I run in the house, you know what I'm saying? They tried to close the door. These brothers came through the door, boom, through the house, right? They got me in the back of the house. It's a long hallway back by the bathroom, right? And it's narrow, right? So You know, I'm in the back, you know what I'm saying, but I can't go no further in the bathroom, you know what I'm saying? And I'm squabbling with about 4 or 5 that can fit. And, you know, they do their thing, you know. So they fade off. His mom is screaming, I'm calling the police, I'm calling the police, and yada, yada, yada. So they fade out. Well, I come out, you know what I'm saying? Fortunately, by the grace and mercy of Allah, I'm not too severely hurt. You know, if you ever been in a scuffle or a rumble, you know, if it's too many people, only a few can really hit you at a particular time or angle. So I was able to use the walls as defenses, so on and so forth, right? So that happened. I come out the bathroom. She like calling the police. I'm like, I don't want to be around here for no police. I'm on probation, yada, yada, yada. So I wait about 10 minutes, few minutes. I dip out the back of the house. I see a boy drop the Louis Vuitton hat. I put the Louis Vuitton hat on, got this hat. So I slid up, you know, try to dip down the alley, you know, so I can get over to Fifth Avenue, because fortunately, my grandmother lived up the street on Fifth Avenue in Slauson. My mom was in town, you know what I'm saying, and my baby sister, she had brought my baby sister, you know what I'm saying. Well, my baby sister was born in LA while she was visiting from Texas, right? So, trying to dip up there, dipping down the alley, boom, 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 boom. Guess who sees me? They come chasing me again, and I didn't run. Stood right there, you know what I'm saying? They surrounded me, woo, 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 packed me out, boom, 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 boom. I hit the ground and shit, you know what I'm saying? And was covering, they was kicking me, you know what I'm saying? And I tried to get up, my khakis was caught on the fence, and I couldn't get off the fence, right? So they run off, you know, yeah, blah, 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 you know, saying what they were saying, and I just remember, man, getting up and blinking out, jumping up, man. Y'all ain't did shit. Woo, woo, woo. Still got crib. Woo, 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 woo. You know what I'm saying? They came back, did it again, and that time they put a hurting on me. So I stumbled up, you know what I'm saying, and I go down the street to my grandmother's house. On the way, I run into my partner, brother named Brian Poole. You know what I'm saying? Brian Poole was from 60s. What happened to you? What? I tell him what happened. Yeah, we gonna get back. That's besides the point. Anyway, I get to the house. That's when I met my baby sister. You know what I'm saying? My mom there was icing my shit. You know what I'm saying? So later on that night, I get to the house. I'm coming down Adams, and I see my homie Country. They got a bunch of 40 ounces. Country, somebody, I can't remember who else. They go to a little pool hall. I go to the pool hall with them on Adams, right? And like between Dunsmore and Cochran. So we getting faded. Man, I guzzle like half a 40 ounce, sitting in there. I'm trying to shoot some pool, you know what I'm saying? And I noticed I just like, man, I didn't have it, bro. So I was like, I'm faded. I'm finna slide to the crib, you know what I'm saying? And I deuced out. And I remember, man, it was just a blur from there. Like, I was standing on Adams and I was walking across and the lights was coming, traffic, and I'm just hearing, you know, horns and shit. And I was stumbling across the street and I'm trying to make it to the house, right? Fell in the bushes, you know what I'm saying? Get to the house, long story short, my stepmother opens the door. And this is where the point of the story begins. She's like, baby, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? She see me out, obviously got some bruises, some cuts, some bangs, disheveled, you know what I'm saying? And, I sat down on the couch and I just remember her having a talk with me about why am I living the lifestyle that I was living. And she said, baby, don't you know that we all bloods and we all cousins? And at that particular point, I can say that, you know, it was profound. You know what I'm saying? It touched me, but it didn't resonate to the point to where I was gonna, you know, refrain from my lifestyle at the time. That wouldn't come for years later. In fact, that was around the year 1998 when I was in Corcoran level 4, and I was sitting on my bunk reflecting on my life. I had already become Muslim, been Muslim for some years, about since I took Shahada in 95, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I've been for some years, right? Um, and I remember sharing that with my celly. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, my stepmother told me back in the days that we was all bloods and we was all cousins. And I had an idea how that could be the catalyst and the platform for a gang intervention organization. And that was my idea at the time, right? Long story short, it's even more relevant today when I just recently viewed Sheikh Danifu's interview about with Kev Mac videos about the Constitution, about his origin, so on and so forth, about the origin of the Pyru, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it only reaffirms the statement that my stepmother made way back in 1983 that we all bloods and we all cousins. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.